And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that
now, Barney! Barney! Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Detroit!
they'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run him now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. He's airing it out for Williams. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Allen. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 39 that time.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Flushed out right, and he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Running, it's Drake. space to run past the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 34 yards there and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll go with a keeper. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Josh Allen taking it in. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event,
a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Allen. And he's going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns.
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Duke Dawson picks it, and they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
So after the INT, it's Allen, eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10.
No, check, Patriots!
First down, and they're going to throw without him. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Marcel Aitman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as that is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
But we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They'll set up to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off at his own 47. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney! Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And now out comes Houston. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 35. And he's going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll run it here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
They'll try and throw for it here. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 35. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Darren Lee there to get him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On play action, Allen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Miles Jack not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Allen, he dumps it off to Drake. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Myers able to knock it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Buffalo after this. Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On play action, they'll throw. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after them now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Hey, lift.
Now it's the backup gone. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Shaq Lawson in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And his kick is indeed good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, Does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Gun! Set! Green 39! Green 39! Watch him now, Barney!
From the gun, it's Allen. Flush to his right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Detroit! 36! Detroit!
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He goes underneath the drape. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a gain of 5. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Drake. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Operating from the red zone now. Allen escaping the pressure right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Allen, and the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Bills on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Check 43. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
And again, it's Allen. That's complete right around the 8. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Back down to that Philly. Here we go.
On 1st and goal, Drake. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines, as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Myers able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
56. Lucky.
So Allen's going to look to throw. Flushed out right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Allen now on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw, it's Allen. Fighting, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Bills getting set to go. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And so,
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Allen now looks to throw, eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards.
All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking, they think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Buffalo, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Houston, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop out of morning. I had me some breakfast by the morning, I had a sister by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me. Pacific ice, I'm an ocean, ready for war like I'm Russia. Ladies should never look lucky, my diamonds they tussling. My neck and my belly, they calling for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, B-Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes on the, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen, yeah, you can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, and who's you, my shawty pulling up with a real bad back, you too. My swag, about tag on I got it in the bag now, getting all type of cash. I'm a general true. I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop out of morning. I had me some breakfast by the morning, I had a sister by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling, ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. You can hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I see that new Bay alert, gon' be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop out of morning. I had me some breakfast by the morning, I had a sister by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture. Jumping in the bed with two dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my sweat.